Hey guys, it's Austin, and today I want to make a video talking about why you should shoot film in 2021. So there's a lot of reasons I shoot film and a lot of reasons I switch from digital photography to film photography. For me, film photography is all about slowing down the process and really focusing on what I care about and what matters to me and making things a lot more simpler for me. It's all about simplicity and minimalism, I think. So when I was doing digital photography, I would take anywhere from 300 to 500, 600 maybe even pictures a day. And that was just too much to deal with, too much to edit. I noticed I would have a lot of overlap. I would take maybe 10 or 15 pictures of the same thing, same person, and pick like, what's the best expression, you know? And I would check the camera after taking the picture and realize like, oh, it's a good picture, or it's a bad picture. And then I would go back to edit it and I'd have completely different feelings. I think it would just sort of take me out of the moment of photography. You know, I really wanted to step away from that and do like a slower process. So with 35mm photography that happens, but with medium format photography that happens even more. So that's one of the biggest reasons I love film photography, is it helps me slow down and I can really capture the things I want to capture. Now, another reason I would consider film photography is just for like the retro aesthetic that some people like. I personally like it. I don't want to sound too artsy, but yeah, it's to convey emotion and tell a story. You know, something simply like a retro aesthetic can be very powerful. You know, I like sort of the more painterly feel to pictures. That is something I definitely like about film. And I think that film renders bokeh a lot different from digital photography. Digital photography, the bokeh can be pretty sharp and really defined, whereas film photography, the bokeh seems very soft and the colors sort of blend into each other. And I kind of like that. Another thing you can do that I want to bring up is there's black and white film and there's color film, slide film. There's so many different types of film. And a really fun experience about learning film photography has been trying out all these different films. It's like using a different LUT or Lightroom preset or just different sort of filter on your camera. And there's so many combinations you can do with film photography. I really suggest you try it out. I recently started using filters in my photography more, and that just completely changes the way the colors are rendered on film. Also on digital photography, but it makes a bigger impact on film because you only get one shot and you're essentially changing how the light reacts with the chemicals rather than with the sensor. So a little bit of change goes a long way with film. And shooting stuff in black and white, it's completely different. Black and white, you're really looking for the contrast, you're looking for strong, dramatic light. And color, you're really focused on, you know, beautiful colors and color harmonies, you know, big, beautiful skies and orange sunlight or red sunlight, you know. You're thinking of these more majestic sort of tones. Black and white photography lets you focus on just the lighting. So that's something you can do with film photography that you can't necessarily do with digital. I know you can put a black and white filter on things and that sort of replicates the experience, but there's something special about the black and white photography that you can do in film photography. It has a certain sort of cinematic grain and retro feel. Beyond just the retro feel and stuff like that, it's a unique experience. And I think that's what's more important to me. So when I'm shooting and having fun outside with my friends, taking pictures in black and white, it's really rewarding. And it's really fun to do. Maybe my last reason for doing film photography would be to check out like vintage glass. You know, I love checking out old lenses, and I have a friend who's bought, 20 lenses, and he just goes through all of them. He doesn't use film photography, but if he did, I think it would completely change the way he shoots. People are always going to talk about how film is pricey and it's getting more expensive. It's true, film is quite expensive, and developing it costs a lot of money, but I think for me, it doesn't cost too much money as to opposed to, it doesn't cost so much money that I can't do it. It's a little bit of a hindrance sometimes, but it also sort of forces your hand, and you got to learn to deal with what you can use, and that forces you to grow. So, I think if you're somebody who wants to improve their photography and you're stuck in a rut in digital photography, definitely give film out a try. And you can, change the way you're gonna look at photography, look at the world, and experiment with black and white, using other films, and just see how hard the process is, and see how photography was before digital. It's sort of motivating to keep changing the way you shoot, and film definitely lets you do that. So I hope you got something useful out of this video. Drop a comment and subscribe. If you like film photography related content, I got a lot of reviews and lens reviews, stuff like that. And I'll be bringing you some more content based on what I think about film and just photography in general. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.